these unnecessary or irregular fears that people have developed with isolation, with all these self-critiquing thoughts and stuff. It's like you gotta challenge those, you know. It's like I was saying that to my grandmother. Like my grandmother said to me, I can't really stand up, you know. I was trying to get her to move and go to the garden area so we can, you know, watch the plants or the birds in the sky. She hasn't gone out. So I tried I told her, like, let's get up, you know, let's get up. Let's go out. And she got up. She almost got, you know, there, like, but then she's like, you know, I can't, I'm unable to, it's, you know, I don't have the willpower for it. And then I told her, like, that's not true. And she looked at me, she was like, what? I'm like, that's not true. And she's like, what do you mean? She almost got like semi-pissed, but curious at the same time. I explained to her, I was visiting my other grandmothers. So this is the one I'm speaking to is my grandmother from my mother's side, and my other grandmother, which is from my father's side, she was complaining about. So now I'm telling this story, this experience, to my mother's mother. Okay, so my mother's side grandmother, that my father's side grandmother was telling me that her fingers were numb. So my father's mother was saying, like, my fingers are numb, I can't feel them, you know, I have, you know, this tingling sensation in my fingers. They're going numb, I can't move them, and so on and so forth. She was complaining. And you know, mashallah, she's in her late 90s, so she's close to a freaking century, very close. So I told my grandmother, okay, show me my hand, show me your hand. So she showed me her hand. So I was like, okay. So I started, like, you know, just tapping her finger, and I asked her, do you feel that? And she's like, yes. She waited for a couple of seconds and then she said yes. I did it with the other finger, all the fingers, all the 5 fingers. And then I asked her, like, so if you can feel them, how are your fingers numb? And then you could almost see this, her face, like, changed. She got shook. She's like, oh yeah, he's right. Like, if my fingers were numb, I wouldn't feel him touching my fingers, right? And she's like, you know, let's not talk about this subject. And I was like, come on, dude. And I explained this whole scenario to my mother's side grandmother, that my father's side grandmother was saying this. So my mother's side grandmother was like, yeah, that's true, okay. So I caught her, like, I'm like, why are you saying things that are not real? You're just, you know, thinking about them.